What's going on, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is Matt the StarCraft, and I've got a little 1v1 for you between our Red Zerg Curious. Yes, I can read Korean, and he will be spawning in the bottom right-hand corner. In the bottom left-hand corner, we have Liquid Huck. I have been going a little Huck crazy, it seems like. We are going to be having another Huck game here, but he has the easiest replays to find, I see at least one of the web pages I go to. He's always up. This is a ladder match from the Korean ladder. So curious. I'm not sure who he is. I just saw the name and hasn't really rung a bell, so I'm not quite sure who he is. Shame on me. I know I should know, but I don't. We will be playing this on Tal'Darim Altar. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we have in store for this game. Liquid Huck, very known during the ladder to experiment, do builds that you don't usually see him do in tournaments, and just an overall fun player to watch, as you all know, and one of the best Protoss, and he's considered a Korean Protoss in the world. I do have my bottle of iced tea ready to go, so I will not be choking on my dry mouth this time. I say that as I take a sip. So, I apologize for not having too many replays up right now. I've been like one a week or so, just because I've been really busy with family stuff, so that's kind of really been slowing me down. And it's nothing I can really control. I kind of just have to do what I've got to do. So that's the only reason things have been kind of slow on that. And as far as casting goes, looks like we had a 14 pool drop, by the way. Other than that, I've been doing, alright. I've been playing a lot of StarCraft. I do have a few more Mathis versus the Ladders I'd like to get casted, or at least get uploaded. I think I have a few casted still waiting to be uploaded. And I've been playing a lot of Terraria. You'll see a few episodes jumping up here and there. I'll probably upload another one tonight. Again, I said it's not going to be a regular series, but since they have a lot recorded, I plan on getting them up pretty quick. So, expect to see those alongside a lot of SC2 casts. I'm just really having a lot of fun with that game. I did watch a few Let's Plays of it, and when I was watching them, I thought, like, oh, this game's kind of fun looking, nothing I want to, like, throw down for right away. But then during Steam, this is summer sale, that was on sale for $6, and Magicka was also on sale for $3, so I grabbed 2 copies of Magicka. And gifted one to my friend, so I'm looking forward to getting to that game as well. But Terraria has been sucking up a lot of my time. It's just a really fun game, and I've thoroughly been enjoying it. So look forward to putting more of the. Look, we did do a Forge first into Expand build, by the way, for Huck. So trying to get an early macro lead. Again, if you are a Zerg and you see him do this, you never want to be equal bases with your friend, with your enemy here. That's not your friend. But you never want to be equal bases as Zerg. You want to be able to get the macro lead, and looks like he's going to get a nice little wall off here. Not going to really worry about those Zerglings that are currently rushing across the mini-map. He'll see the wall off, he'll back off. He's got a cannon here in case he decides to try and push. Cannon will ward them up. But he's going to force... it's going to force Curious here to make a decision. He's going to have 2 choices. He's either going to go grab a very early third, probably around the 7-minute mark, 8-minute mark. You'll typically see him grab a third if Protoss has done this, or he's gonna quickly rush for roaches. He'll do 2 base roach and punish Huck, or at least attempt to punish Huck for doing such early expanding. Most Zerg you'll see grab that 3rd base because as Zerg you really want to get into that macro game if you're good with it. You want to get into that long game where you have like 7 bases with a million hatcheries, and just being able to remax your army constantly. So I would be surprised to see him do an early expansion, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see him try to punish him early with early roach play. We do have, it looks like, just 1, but he's only got 1 extractor going down right now. At this point, yeah, I don't think he's going to be grabbing any Roach Warren. He's just grabbing the gas way too late for that. And the Roach Warren isn't even dropping yet if we look at our production tab. So he looks like actually over here is cleaning up the rocks, so he is going to be gearing up for that 3rd base, which again, that's not exactly unheard of or uncalled for. So, yep, that's his decision. Grab a 3rd and try to macro out. So we'll see what Huck decides to do. He has, like I said, a nice little wall off here. He's got another pylon here. I'd like to see another pylon dropped up here for some redundant power if this decides to go. I'm not sure if this gateway's in the loop here for this pylon, but he is going to be dropping another one here, so he's going to have that little Triforce of power. Oh, Zelda reference. So we'll see what happens there. He does have the gateway research going down, warp gate research, but he doesn't have any more gateways right now. And he does have, we do have Curious dropping his overlords around, just keeping an eye on Huck, see what he's doing, make sure he doesn't do anything crazy. Grabbing a couple gas, so maybe some heavy tech. We'll see a lot. We do see a sentry here. That's not surprising at all. Dropping sentries this early, especially double expanding like this, you don't want to burn the minerals on a heavy army. You don't have the minerals to burn on a heavy army yet. You got to burn it all on probes. And if we look at the worker count, he is actually one worker ahead of Curious here. That's a very good position to be in, especially since he's walled off like this, and he doesn't have a Roach Warren up. He only has Zerglings. He is actually very, very safe from any kind of pressure right now. And it does look like we do have that third hatchery going down right around the 7-minute mark. So a little earlier than I thought. I did say 7 or 8 minute mark. Usually it's around the 8-minute mark, but dropping at the 7-minute mark is not all. That's actually really good. That especially since Huck does have his second natural up and running nicely. He is going to be taking this down now, so it looks like he's going to be moving on in. His minerals are really, really high right now. I'm curious to be saving, and oh, what's this? The gateway's still not in the power, and he quickly rushes over to grab that, and he's going to see this. Curious is going to see this. He's going to maybe try to push by, but since he does have 2 sentries, the force fields are going to be very, very useful here, since this is not currently ready. I don't know if Huck knew that was going to happen. I highly doubt it, as well as he would have put that pylon a little closer, but killing off in a Zergling and throwing that force field down saved his butt, and now he's got his back up and running. That's going to set him a little bit behind there. He should have had both sentries up and running now, but now he only has 3 as opposed to the 4 he should have. And he hasn't, I don't think he's chrono boosted this warp gate research once, so, and his minerals were getting a little high and still kind of are climbing, so I'm curious what he's planning here. Maybe some sort of, we'll see some Templar archives or something dropping down, because he does have both gas, but he's moving on down here. What is he doing with this? Moving down here, is he going down towards his 3rd? It looks like he's going to be going down to grab an early 3rd, so that'll be very interesting to see if he grabs that. We do have the Roach Warren up, grabbing Roach speed now. Zergling speed also on the way, very, very late Zergling speed on the way. And Burrow also with 5 Roaches and 5 more drones. Take a look at the worker count here. Huck still barely ahead by 1 or 2. And another pylon dropping here. So, wow, really going for that macro game, which is really good to see. Again, the macro game is going to really help him out, especially if he's able to keep ahead of him. And force fielding the Zerglings in and trapping a good chunk of them. It looks like he's going to be clearing them out very, very nicely. Very nice. He's really, that kind of hurts, especially with the early game scouting. I doubt the Zergling's going to get away. No, not even close, as he warps in a bunch of Stalkers. So now his army is looking pretty nice. It was a late army, very sentry heavy. But because he's able to get the 2nd base up and running, was able to defend it very, very well. And now he's going to go going for that 3rd. That's an excellent sight for him. But now that Curious knows about this 3rd, he needs to either push with something big, or he needs to get that 4th very soon. Again, having a Zerg that's on equal bases with any other race, especially against Protoss, is not where you want to be. And it looks like Huck is looking like he wants to push out here. So moving over to the Zelnok Watchtower, we're killing off that Zerg that's keeping it, so he knows he's coming. Pushing up just a little bit, but let's take a look over here. What does he have going? He has a good contingent of Stalkers here. Stalkers. That is not a Stalker. That is Roach. But a good contingent of Roaches that should usually be able to hold this off. And now it's going to look like Huck is going to try to retreat here. Those force fields are going to make those Roaches take the long route, even more force fields. So making those Roaches really work for those kills. And these are off the creep. Even though they have the Roach speed, off the creep, they're still not too quick compared to the rest of these guys. And now he's on the high ground, really encountering him where he wants to be. And force fields going everywhere. Looks like he's going to be able to clean this up quite nicely. Really keeping some of those Roaches out of reach. And just kind of picking away, and now he's going to be able to get out of there. Had to sacrifice those sentries, only being able to retreat with only 4 of those Stalkers, but he's got a nice contingent of Stalkers waiting here, and he's only going to separate with 4 of them, and he's going to lose 1, so we'll have 7 Roaches just burrowed on the outside, just sitting outside, waiting to see when he moves out, if he moves out. So having that early burrow in the game might be able to pay off a little bit, but it looks like there is an observer moving around on the field here. He's going to quickly see those Roaches. If he even passes by that right spot, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to pass by at all. But he is passing by, so he's going to see that. He is going to stop his observer and move these Stalkers out and walk through very nonchalant. No, I don't see anything here. What's going on? Haha, gotcha, fool. And then quickly attacked as he walks over them, kind of trapping them, not allowing them to go anywhere. But a huge amount of Roaches is going to come over here as well. Force field, nice split on the force field. I really like that. Now walking them out of range of the ones behind the force field and throwing down even more, keeping them kind of just out of reach, just barely, kind of keeping them unorganized. They're targeting random things. The sentries are going to be sacrificed. That was a lot of sentries, but the force fields were used up. The energy was low, and if we take a look at the food count, Curious is actually ahead, but Blink Stalker is on the way with 13 more Roaches. It looks like level 1 armor and level 1 weapons, as well as, does he have a Roach? Yes, he does. Groove Spines. He should have a Hydra Den. There it is. So Roach, Hydra, very potent mix against gateway units, against Protoss. Very good mix to have. So you keep the roaches up front as the tanks, and they do decent damage, but the hydras in the back with that extra range upgrade, really, really potent. They would do most of the damage, while the roaches just kind of absorb the damage that the rest are doing. If we look, Huck is also still upgrading. He's got his level 1 ground weapons on the way. Sorry, I was taking a drink there. And another Hatcher on the way, so he's grabbing his 4th base. Really late 4th base, and Mutalisk Den. Mutalisk Den. That is not the name of that man. I'm tired. Can you tell, guys? Spire on the way. If you see up there, the Spire. Not Mutalisk Den. It's bizarre. So, thumbs up for Mutalisk Den. Huge amount of roaches, though. You should still wait before he pushes out. If he's gonna do any sort of attack, he wants to wait before for the 1-1 to bump. They're just barely there. They're very, very close. About 10 seconds on each, I bet. Yep, just about 10 seconds left on each. Some spine crawlers dropping down for defense, just around them. Where is he dropping them? Is it gonna be over here? Where are those spine crawlers? Where? Okay, he's got him over in his natural. 2 spine crawlers and a spore crawler, just in case he's expecting a Dark Templar. His scouting information, if we take a look, is not that great. I mean, he has a good amount of information, but he hasn't been able to see too much since about early mid-game or so. But we have a little encounter going on over here. Huck moving out, meeting head-to-head with those huge chunk of roaches. Gonna have to pull back, but I like that he keeps the Observer in the army because they are burrowed, and burrow is done. I don't know if they have burrow move, though. I believe they do. I think I did see it getting upgraded, but it's just too many roaches. He's gonna have to back up, just warp it some more. There we go. He's got some zealots, some sentries in the fix. The force fields are gonna be able to separate that roach army, keeping a lot of them out of range. There's the burrow, and they move, but he does, like I said, have that observer there, so he's going to be able to do damage to them, whether they're burrowed or not, forcing him to unburrow and just push here. And the force field's trapping a good amount, burrowing under those force fields to escape them. Is he going to attempt to run? No, the Blink Stalkers are not even going to allow him to run. Unburrowing, forced to really just go head-to-head and do as much damage as he can. It will be cleaned up, but there's just no getting away, and he wants to keep Huck here near his base. He doesn't want to drag them near his base when he's not ready, as he's rebuilding his army. The food is coming close to max for Curious here, and for Huck, he is almost there as well. Joe significantly behind. But he's seeing the power of the Zerg army there. He lost a lot of his units, and now he's got a bunch more. And he's gonna, looks like he killed the Observer there, and the Hydralisk's kind of trading for, and the Stalker's trading for that Overseer. Though I'd say Curious lost in that trade there, because not only did he lose a Detector, but he also lost some food. So really setting back his max army count for a little bit. But he'll be rebuilding those soon enough, if not already, as he is still has maxed, so he did have extras, which was good. One other thing that's not too good, especially having Hydras here, and he's going to be catching a few of those roaches off guard. I'll talk about that in a second. He did kill another Overseer, our Overlord there, so killing again, once again, knocking him back in that food. He is currently 197 out of 192, so that's going to hurt. But as I was saying, he needs to keep the creep going. Having the creep only up to here, especially having Hydras in the field, you need that creep because Hydras are so slow. Even if you don't spread the creep tumors, get those Overlords spread, have them creep spewing in random areas. There's no reason why your Overlords can't be spewing creep everywhere. As a Zerg, you'll see a lot of the pro Zergs, they're, especially Idra, if you see him do the creep highway technique, especially goes mass Hydras, he will keep the creep spreading, even if he has no creep tumor, so they are able to move, killing off a cannon there. And here come these, got Immortals in the mix now. Blinkstalker's blinking back, really forcing the roaches to come up front. Those cannons are not going to allow him to burrow, even though he doesn't have an observer there. If he burrows, the cannons will be able to see him, and he's going to warp in a few zealots here to do some damage absorbing, and they're going to move in and try to attack here. Blinking those Stalkers up front, but he did lose those Immortals, which kind of hurts, but the Guardian Shield's going to allow those Blinkstalkers to do a good amount of damage, and it looks like that I thought for a second that Curious was going to be able to do some damage here, but a good enough micro and good Guardian Shields with some good warp-in timing with those Zealots is going to look like it'll allow him to clean this up. Is he going to kill that cannon off? Yes, he is, but not before the roaches are killed, so they can't burrow move around, and still building some more Zealots. He's going to be forced to sack these Hydras. They are not fast enough to get away without a creep highway somewhere nearby. They are just too slow to get anywhere. So Huck cleaning that up with minimal losses. Did he even get any workers? He has killed 3 workers so far, while Huck has only killed 1.